Yeah, this crazed person is the one that one body or husband belonged to.
It's been some time. I wanted to ask about my request.
We were lucky enough to find it. However...
Oh, thank goodness! Please give it back to me.
Yes, here.
My baby, you finally made it back home to me.
His next line.
It's unfortunate.
The memory was also badly damaged. See that?
Don't fret.
Surely she's
No matter
guilty.
what you are, I'll always love you. Forever.
Hey, Beatrice, right? Are you sure it was an Atiba that did it?
She was probably talking about the present when she said that
Angel,
no matter
is that
what
you?
you are, you know?
I didn't know you were still here. Why are you asking the obvious? Are you doubting me?
That trace. It doesn't seem as though an Atiba was responsible.
You weren't there, Angel. You weren't there. I was. My baby was killed by an Atiba. I saw it with my own eyes. I saw it. I'll pay you, just like I promised. But I'd appreciate it if you didn't say such foolish things.
You know what it could simply be?
Let's get out of here.
Well, I'm gonna say it when she
Somewhere
stops
else.
being crazy, that is.
Where we won't be interrupted.
Okay, I don't know why I didn't think of this, like, exact thing before. But you know how there is... Well, I mean, I did call her, like, you know, some kind of, like, obsessive psychopath on my first playthrough. But, like, that exactly. Like, what if simply... she is... Well, I mean... She was obsessive of this other person's love or relationship. And this other person wanted to separate from her, wanted to leave her alone, didn't want any of it anymore. And then Beatrice was like, well, if you're gonna leave me, then I'm gonna kill you if you try to leave me, you know? And that is the reason as to why he's dead cold inside the oasis, you know? It could literally just be simply that. Just the threat of, like, losing something that you believe that you should somehow, like, possessed. You know, it's kind of like an almost like a relationship with somebody who feels like an object to you more so. That could be the reason as to why she's acting that way. Actually, it's very likely that that is the reason why. Because there's very many examples in real life of that same exact thing. Of, like, people who possibly were, like, equally in love with each other at some point. But then the other person figures out that the other person is a, you know, crazy son of a gun. And then the person who feels uncomfortable in the relationship at that point wants to leave it, obviously. And then the other person who is obviously very obsessive and possessive in their nature, they don't let that other person leave. It's kind of like how domestic violence also works a lot of the time inside households, you know? Where, like, the other person who is the victim of the domestic abuse feels like they are almost incapable of, like, leaving the other person, the abuser, you know? It's kind of like that a little bit, you know? It's like they are almost, like, afraid to, like, leave the other person. So even if they try to find a way, like, you know, there's gonna be some very severe consequences possibly. I think it just tries to tie to that. Like, that's what Beatrice's story is about.